Jada Pinkett Smith believed her secrets were safe in the dark, but brother Bilal just exposed the entire cover-up to the world. A total career meltdown is currently hitting the queen of the red table as the public examines 30 years of buried receipts. For a long time, Ali Carter was dismissed as a clout chaser for claiming she was the daughter of the late Tupac Shakur, but the games have ended because the legal evidence proves her identity. Jada has nowhere left to hide now that Bilal has returned with the documents linking her directly to the silencing of Tupac's only child. The truth is finally out, and the situation is much uglier than anyone could have imagined. The receipts reveal that Jada acted as the primary gatekeeper for a lie that effectively destroyed a young woman's life for 3 decades. Documented evidence supports every single claim Bilal is making, which meant he didn't need to rely on rumors to prove the Smith family tried to scrub Ali Carter from history. Ali spent years screaming for help, while Jada used her immense industry power to ensure no one would listen. Fans who thought they knew the full story were stunned by what happened next, especially when the paper trail became public. Control over the narrative belonged to Jada from the very day Tupac was unalived in Las Vegas, but the files Bilal uncovered tell a different story than the one she presented to the world. She spent years positioning herself as the only person who truly knew the rapper, yet Bilal found a paper trail connecting her inner circle to medical records from the mid-90s. These were not just the records of some random child, but rather the secret daughter of the biggest artist in hip-hop history. Ali Carter is that daughter, and she currently holds the DNA evidence that proves her biological connection to the legend. Documentation confirms that Jada knew about Ali Carter from the very beginning, yet she chose to bury the truth to protect her own social standing instead of helping her best friend's child. Gag orders were issued by Jada's legal team to silence anyone who spoke about Tupac's secret family, and the result was a cold, calculated move to keep the millions of dollars in the estate under specific control. This financial motivation explains why Jada acted as such a master manipulator for so long. The public is finally seeing the reality of the situation, and the image Jada built is crumbling in real time. Everything changed for the Smith legacy when these receipts went public, revealing specific financial transfers that occurred exactly when Ali Carter began speaking out on social media. Disguised as legal fees, these payments were actually hush money meant to keep the truth from surfacing. Jada was clearly terrified of Ali coming forward because she knew her role as the keeper of Tupac's flame would vanish if the world discovered he had a daughter. The evidence shows that Jada would stop at nothing to remain the central figure in Tupac's life story, even if it meant hurting his own flesh and blood. Ali Carter was never crazy or looking for fame, and the photos and letters Bilal released show she was the victim of a high-stakes plot to erase her existence. These personal letters show a deep connection between the two women that Jada has denied for years, which means her public statements were nothing more than a fabrication. The evidence is overwhelming at this point, and it confirms that Jada is in a state of total career meltdown because her lies have finally hit a dead end. Forensic lab results verify that the DNA match was confirmed years ago, yet Jada reportedly had those results intercepted before they could reach the estate lawyers. This was a direct attack on Ali Carter's birthright and her identity, and Bilal is now calling this the single biggest betrayal in the history of hip-hop. Jada was never the hero of this story, and the evidence establishes that she was actually the villain working against Tupac's own blood. Legal defeat is looming for Jada, and the financial consequences will be astronomical because the Tupac estate is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Ali Carter is the rightful heir to every penny, and Jada's influence over those funds is currently crumbling as the real daughter steps into the light. Bilal provided a specific timeline proving that Jada worked behind the scenes to keep Ali in poverty while she lived a life of luxury. The result of this exposure is a wave of public anger that Jada cannot escape. Hidden Archives finally gave up the 1996 documents that Bilal discovered, and these papers contain the actual signatures of witnesses who heard Tupac discuss his daughter in person. Jada was fully aware of these conversations, but she used every bit of her power to ensure those people stayed silent for decades. Blackballing anyone who dared to support Ali Carter became standard practice for Jada, and she utilized her deepest Hollywood connections to make it happen. The world is finally listening to the victim because the receipts are out in the open. Shocking new developments reached Jada's remaining fans when Bilal released a series of text messages showing her team plotting how to handle the Ali Carter situation. Painting Ali as a mentally ill clout chaser was the primary strategy used to ensure no one believed her story, which is the definition of global gaslighting. Jada acted as the lead architect of this smear campaign, and the truth reveals just how far she was willing to go to protect her image. Ali Carter has suffered for decades because of these lies, losing both her name and her inheritance because Jada wanted to maintain a fake public persona. The public is demanding justice for Tupac's daughter now that the truth is out, and Bilal has become the hero for standing up to the Hollywood machine. Hard facts have finally replaced the stories Jada told, and the weight of that evidence is crushing the Smith family legacy. Jada's reputation is permanently damaged because the receipts do not lie, and her talk show and books are now viewed as a collection of fabrications. She spent more time talking about her love for a dead man than she did helping his living daughter, which represents a betrayal of the highest order. The contract proves that Jada had a direct financial interest in keeping Ali Carter away from the estate, and that greed has led her to this moment of total collapse. Criminal levels of manipulation are being tied directly to Jada after forensic analysis showed that signatures were forged to keep Ali out of the will. Bilal hired experts who proved these papers were altered after Tupac was unalived, which means the legal walls are closing in on Jada very quickly. No publicist can fix this meltdown because the evidence is far too strong to ignore. Ali Carter is finally being vindicated by these facts, and she no longer has to feel ashamed of her truth. DNA proof acts as the final nail in the coffin for Jada's web of lies, and Bilal has ensured that the world can never ignore the truth again. Jada's reputation is finished because people realize she used Tupac's name for her own gain while actively hurting his child. The pattern of behavior revealed in these receipts is both deceitful and cruel, proving that Jada was the architect of her own destruction. Financial fallout will be massive for Jada Pinkett Smith, and the receipts indicate she may be liable for millions of dollars in damages to Ali Carter. This is not just a gossip story, but a legal battle that will redefine the history of the Shakur legacy for future generations. Bilal opened the floodgates, and the truth is currently washing away 30 years of carefully crafted lies. Jada is in a state of total panic while her brand dissolves in front of the world. Ali Carter was the hero who never gave up, even when the entire industry was working against her to keep her silent. She fought for her truth for years, and the receipts show she possesses the same warrior spirit as her father. Jada is now shown as a manipulator who tried to play God with someone else's life, and her time as the queen of the narrative has officially ended. New witness statements have come forward to confirm Bilal's claims, and many of these individuals were former employees who saw the documents with their own eyes. They were paid to keep quiet for years, but now they are speaking out because they can no longer live with the guilt of the lie. The house of cards is falling down, and Jada is the one left buried under the rubble of her own deceit. Greed was the driving force behind Jada's decision to hide the truth, and the receipts show she had every opportunity to do the right thing. Bilal proved that no matter how much power a person has, they cannot hide the facts forever. The world is siding with Ali Carter because she represents the truth, while Jada represents the corruption of Hollywood. Brand deals are already starting to drop Jada because no company wants to be associated with someone who would hide a child from her father's legacy. Her influence has vanished, and she is left with nothing but the consequences of her actions. This is the ultimate cost of trying to control a story that was never hers to tell, and the damage to her career is permanent. Legal action is moving forward as Ali Carter prepares a massive lawsuit against Jada and the estate. Denying her birthright for 30 years is a mistake that will cost Jada everything she built. Ali is finally getting the justice she deserves, and Bilal's role in bringing these receipts to light has changed the game forever. The hero is winning, and the villain is facing the reality of her choices. Inner Circle members are starting to turn on Jada because they realize being on her side is a losing battle. Everyone is jumping ship before the legal storm hits, leaving Jada alone in the ruins of her meltdown. The receipts were destined to go public, and they have destroyed the foundation of everything the Smith family stood for. This situation serves as a lesson for anyone in Hollywood who thinks money can bury the truth indefinitely. The facts always find the way to the surface, and Bilal has shown that one person with the receipts can dismantle an entire empire of lies. Ali Carter is finally home, and the legacy of Tupac Shakur is finally being restored to his rightful heir. Jada's career meltdown is just the beginning of a long legal road that she will not survive. Jada was never the person she claimed to be in her interviews or her books, and the receipts expose her as a manipulator who used a dead man's memory for profit. Hiding his living legacy was the ultimate betrayal, and the world will never forget what she did to Ali Carter. The daughter of Tupac Shakur finally has her name back, and Jada is left with nothing but the truth she tried to kill. Bombshells will continue to drop in the coming weeks as Bilal releases even more evidence from his investigation. Jada cannot hide anymore because the entire world is watching the fallout of her decisions. The end of her reign is here, and the receipts show that she was the one who profited most from this 30-year lie. Jada turned Tupac's life into a business while ensuring his actual bloodline was left with nothing to show for it. This cold and calculated move is something the public will never forgive, and the receipts have set the record straight once and for all. Ali Carter is no longer the girl everyone mocked, but the woman who took on a Hollywood giant and came out on top. Jada looks desperate as she tries to explain away the evidence that everyone can see with their own eyes. Her influence is gone, and her legacy will be defined by the lie she told for 3 decades. Justice is being served to the daughter the world never knew about, and the cost of Jada's deceit is her entire career.